Thank you. There is a sign-up sheet in here. As you enter the brick archway, it's to your left. The next reader, it's either two people or somebody's last name and then somebody's full name.
Kathy Ireland Smith.
Smith, Kathy Ireland.
Everything is interstitial. There's one truth, O Buddhist taxonomer. Things you notice about truth. The city lights are still on because of the timing of the dark. I'm coming on in a big way. I'm a weather event, a hurricane. It soaks an old country, moldy on your golden oldie. I'm an infinitely accessible Kathy, your flood, your pixelator of the analog. I like the star field on my side mirror, but you should probably watch Dead Man's Curve. It was a foolish suicide, writing notes to people who I don't even love. That rats laugh, that means everything's okay. Truth. How do I know it's the future? Because we are all complicit. I am a margin, better than zero, but not good enough for sacrifices. If the woman of your dreams was walking by, would you leave me? Probably. I am not a yes woman. I will not come to your astrology. All the children are grown up. All the holidays are sad. All the pets are dead. Special creatures. I had this fish of secretive eye and diaphanous fin. He lazily brushed me, then slight quick eyelid flipped to deep inside hook heart worm hurt. He was in shallow waters where all grew warm quickly from the light of the sun, and he'd grown large, belly up, bubble burst in its generosity. I had this toad of jeweled eye and scaly bubble. I picked him up to admire his pattern, for I am an admirer of minutiae. He'd piss-pull poison in my hand. He was a classical medieval studies scholastic toad. He had difficulty croaking out the 100 or so conjugations of Paiduo. I was ready for him with the tutelage of my kiss. I just wanted the texture of his bumps and the sting of his salt on my tongue. I do not have supple limbs and my teeth are crooked. My imagination's body is luminous, voluminous. My bones are an accretion. I am glad for clothes to hold the spill of my body. I am a happy disappointment. I do not feel so much an inhabitant of the arrowhead of time. I am tarred. Being is viscous stuff. I'd like to be a blip, a slight slip into this world. Here's a love poem for Steve. that I'll end with. No demands of time. This is actually a collaboration, bits of our conversations. If you're a king, you must have been a criminal. All criminals would be king, and all kings are criminal. The first time I was in jail, hard time. I didn't know when I'd get out. Spiders traverse distances by floating and falling. Vines twist together so they can reach further. We'll jump off the edge of the known world, but the earth is flat and we own the edges. Mapping constellations across the random scattered stars.
Nice. Thank you very much. It's about 20 after 10 right now. We're going to try to get this to about 11 o'clock. So if you could try to keep them down to about 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. But thank you all for showing and coming out here. This is much more than I expected. The next reader we have is C. Allen Rearick.
Alright, this first poem is called Down at the West Side Market. Down at the West Side Market, homeless men and women petition for your dollar, tell tales of intrigue and adventure, wave their homeless grapevine periodicals in an obtuse, wayward manner. Down at the West Side Market, black men impress upon the ear zinging notes of bebop, ragtime, jazz, and melodies of modern measure, all steaming from a brassy saxophone, cajoling with the contents of your pockets. Down at the West Side Market, the din from 1,000 or more murmurs ricochets through the halls of human thought. The busy eyes of patrons dart from face to face, scuttle down deadpan pathways, dilly-dally with the fly-by-night merchants of the day over onions, cabbage, rhubarb, pig feet, pomegranates, and correct change. Down at the West Side Market, the melting pot of diversity, history, and lore dawdles in the crowded, balmy air, and the present world slips into a ghostly pause, and life bustles about, unfettered by the cascading constraints of time's obtrusive touch sweltering in your soul. This next one is called Poem for New Orleans in the key of A minor. I'm going to start off with the quote from Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. They are already here, caged in ghettos by slumlord bandits, sitting atop the 7 hills of hypocrisy, getting high off wax-coated truths flown too close to the sun that have melted and filled our ears with snake oil poison, killing all hopes of survival and rescue. Turn your red crosses upside down while our National Guardsmen and troops protect your foreign Midas touch in the holy name of freedom as the city and its people slowly grow extinct. Burn your lazy lamp in the dark and sing us a vigil. This little gospel heart of mine, I'm gonna let it cry for the destitute millions broken by the weight of a government just as helpless as its helpless citizens hidden under a bush. Oh no, he's gonna let them die. This one's called Standing Under the Sun. Quietness is the sound of grass hushing in the wind, a bird nibbling discarded breadcrumbs in the 8 a.m. Sunday morning sun as I write about places I've never been or seen, to taste a strong brewed coffee with too much sugar. Henry Miller's Tropic of Cancer sprawled open like the prostitute's legs he depicts within those pages. A half-smoked cigar nestled in an ashtray flirting with my lips and lungs. The neighbors next door sleeping, fucking, snoring, tossing about in bed, dreaming about planets inhabited by garbage men who only speak a language understood by flies. All this in silence, reverberating a cliche's catchphrase. Good things come to those who wait, to paraphrase Arthur Rimbaud. In life we sleep, in dreams we live, but I'm still waiting for all those good things to come to me. Still waiting for the philosophy of dead poets. Still waiting with the shadows shaped like crooked sidewalk smiles as I sleep these dreamless nights away.
Hey!
How are you?
Not too bad. Good.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The next reader we have is Steve Goldberg.
Steve. Yes. Yeah, you give this the change of mood. Is it just me or is it hot in here? Just you. Big, excellent, by the way. I'm the only Republican in the House.
Oh,
I have accomplished much, but no one knows. I have accomplished much, but no one cares. I have accomplished much, but it isn't enough. I have accomplished much, but I haven't done anything. I have accomplished much, but others have done more. I have accomplished much, but I didn't do it good enough. I have accomplished much, but I could have done better. I have accomplished much, but what do I have to show? I have accomplished much, but I have to do more. It is no charity. Darkness engulfing, pulling on every movement. Even pressure on the chest making effort to suck life in. The viscous resistances in the lungs to push the darkness out. Cold chilling, bone deep sharpness pervasive, but with focus and tenseness on the mouse calloused hand. Selfish ads and words of loved ones are icicle daggers in the vitals. Surrounded by drab green of the inner woods, where evil lurks, waiting to pull even a dull glow. Of a glimmering, surviving, scrawny, light ray, trying to find my eyes are in my living room turned tomb, both sucking out my body and overfilling me like a balloon ready to pop. And the gold numbing, burning, sharpening chill that a Michelin Man stack of sweaters or a hugging heater radiator can't diminish, shivering over the heat vent while the darkness envelopes and probes to get inside. Task after task, blotting out any true thought, the source of inner brightness, like a dark cloud obscuring the sun, until exhaustion has put you off seeking for one other day. In case you're wondering, I am taking medication. Midnight glow of the translucent, white of fresh snow, it lightens through the windows. Chase the gloom from the ebony guts of the quiet, chaotic room. Just a thought one night at about 4 in the morning when I couldn't sleep. I just show that I do see some nice things in the world. What equals the scintillant moment of joy when someone sees a loved one after an absence? Airport terminals as a plane disgorges its innards, farts out such joy, enough to run the world for ages, but momentary and gone, awaiting for the next arrival. For those of you in the other room, would you please be quiet? Ladies, if I just sold a little more coffee, I'd have guns. This one's called Life of a Poser. Yeah. I knew you'd like that one, Pete. Who am I meeting? What do they want? Is it an open mic? I'll wear black and not shave. I'll carry a notebook to scribble while someone recites. A gallery opening? No tie, silk sweater, and a jacket for that. Nonconformist sophisticate. I'll ask the right questions about public arts funding. Coffee with owners of a startup? I'll look tired with a t-shirt, jeans, and a jacket. Yeah, I'm trying to start a business, but I don't make anything. I don't sell anything. I don't do anything. Oh, God. Entrepreneur sounds cooler than unemployed loser. Am I going to see cool people? Yeah, I write for Cool Cleveland with a cool founder TM. I'll dress in black like him and dead Johnny C. What does a gray-headed techno geek know of cool? The same as the same as Mozart Salieri. Can't teach this. Call him the queer guy. That's what I call, I'm doing a series on, I was asked by some friends, I belong to Jewel Heart, which is a Buddhist group that's just on West 14th, and one of our members was Allen Ginsberg, and so we started an open mic in honor of him, after he passed on. And the guy who took that on has encouraged a few of us, and me specifically, to do a series about what's it like to be an American and be a Buddhist. So here's the first one I did out of this series. Not even sailing, or floating or swimming, but surrounded, under, over, backward, forward, outside, inside, 10 directions plus, lung full breath, stomach full belch, pull my finger, even there. Buy me, use me, chew me, drink me, discard me, then do it again. Messages everywhere, see it, hear it, taste it, feel it, think it. Walmart, no Walmart, big business, small business, read more, pay less. Teach more, teach best. More taxes, no more taxes. Ohio City graffiti. Who loves me, Cleveland? An American Buddhist here, where a yogi is a cartoon bear. Steal a picnic basket. Take more, give less. Buddha is a little boo-boo bear, showing a different way. And I'm truly a Buddhist when I realize I can change the TV channel. I'm sorry, I'm so enamored by my own prose. I need to cut this down for a little.
This is a poetry reading, not a prose reading.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's the same thing, prose. Please.
Wow, whatever.
Yeah. This one.
Ready to read it.
Yes, sir. This I did for a friend of mine that just died recently. He was fighting cancer for 7.5 years. When he first was diagnosed, they only gave him 3 months to live. Call it Gentle Hero. Smiling faces garland the room, pictures of tulku, Buddhas, and more, focused on the deep breathing lump under the blanket broken by the occasional cough. He seems to know more than he tells, snoring or purring while he clears the apartment. Why do I sit in this room, bright with Tibetan colors? Because he has shown me intimacy of death. There is no identity as we know it. Through the next door, labeled as Bardo, so there is no Dennis, but the entity previously known as Dennis. Purple rain? Ha! Bluer than a blue meanie. Rock star of the 3 times. 32 threatening mudras. Has the entity previously known as Dennis. The entity preciously known as Dennis. Here I only see the graying strands of hair over his forehead, the neat little mustache on his upper lip. Yet there is this glow of greeting surrounding his bed. Soft-spoken words of love in a deep authoritative voice, quiet, respectful postures from a large imposing body, gentle strokes from massive hands swollen with rheumatoid arthritis, as an occasional glance from bed assures, and thus Dennis's presence draws out. I touch his head as I go, with intent to comfort. Instead, the warmth of his forehead rides up my arm, into my head, and into my heart, leaving me with a sense of goodwill and love. I promise to visit again soon, but warn not to stay on my account. He may have listened, but the threat may have hastened things along. I was honored to be present in preparation for his upcoming continuation day. As birth is the continuation from death, so death is the continuation from life. Perhaps this is the continuation to a Pure Land. Gently and quietly we move through the door, accompanied by beings that I have not yet perceived. Onward to the next stage, subtle, beautiful, and exciting. Without regret, without addiction, with compassion and with love, toward wisdom for us all. May I be as prepared for my turn, and may my next stop be as fortunate. This is one of my more recent ones, after I recently moved to Tremont. It's called Tremont Summer Storm. Trio tall towers stand above the fray, blinking lights signifying great gold gusts of the past, or present pyrite instead. Nature's blowing blasts bending branches of obscuring shrubs. Remember me, I'm the queen. Looking upward toward the north from my balcony flapping with flags, colors holding prayers carried by wind horses. Lightning flashes reflect on the triplets, oblivious to the calm near the lake. In the calm near the lake. Roars from the angry clouds pushing from the south. Listen to the queen, damn it, to no avail. Instead, the tinkling of the wind chime fills the air with hope of a cooling rain to wash the angst from this lonely perch, another promise unmet. But unheeded by the mighty three, the insulted royal queen rolls east looking for a superior audience, leaving only a shower of a few drops as a calling card to remember her by, as if to say, I'll be back. And I remain sweating on the stoop, looking north. Okay, this one I actually was sketching through while sitting grasping at the dust, but the sand flows by my fingers. Too late, and all I have is sparkling residue, clinging to the outreached digits. They sparkle as howl and train, remnants for what could have been, personal experience, taught and felt, now lost except for the words. The chance to have seized the golden jewels of genius, too late to hold the chain that connects to the greats. Too late to maybe become a link in that chain. Gone, too late, too late. Too late to have a taste of the great rememberer, Father Jack, Bhikkhu Jack, Lama Kerouac. How, but 5 years too late, to listen to the speech of Alleman, to have more than his words, to feel each letter, each phrase, each cry. More than stories that show me how a bodhisattva desire and a common New York Buju view converged our paths onto a jovial Tibetan man. Only too late for me, the great forgetter. Left only with reflections of gold on my fingers as I read another page. Always too busy and missing a reading, but that didn't deter the junkyard poet. So late in life you are recognized and proclaimed, but not by me. A transplant rediscovering the beauty in his heart that is seeing the beauty in everyone's heart. If only to hear or read the bearded activists, I may have found it earlier, instead of experiencing the love reflected back as he lied quietly, in quiet composure as the church, filled with disciples singing Sufi-esque melodies. And all I can do is join in. Too late, too late. The stream of Crane, Langston and Levy. Did I miss swimming? Oh, Daniel, to walk your talk, you servant of all who surrounded you. The poem in the flesh, and now another glitter on my outstretched hand. What other magicians with the power to transform am I missing with my delusional eyes? What other Whitmans and Williams, Thoreaus and Corsos don't I have time for? Are words enough when I finally remove the frustration and disappointment? How much must I endure before I get the instruction to unleash my words, to fulfill their potential, to bring a tear to an eye, a smile to a mouth? Or do I live as Salieri, forever to recognize the greatness, but not be? Why could I not reach out before? The golden jewels were worn down bit by bit, as they gave out more of themselves in every syllable, every sound, till all is left is dust, iridescent, clinging to my fingers. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Steve is the co-host of this event tonight. Buy coffee. He's the event.
Stay up.
Co-host. Buy coffee.
I need 3 coffees, and they want
And no. Knowing that, I'm gonna light up a cigarette and read a short poem before our next reader. This is
quite a surprise because I'm certainly not a Buddhist. I'm addicted to a couple of different things, and I never met any famous people, but I know Nick Trankner, and I know David Mansbach, who is a good artist, and I know I'm feeling very vulnerable right now.
You're just posing as vulnerable.
Newman. Okay, this one's called The Big Noise. If you must know, I learned this at work. I ask you, do you plan on bending all of America back into Earth? Have you ever seen in real life or on TV a missile, after it is shot into the air, lose its way? Somehow get disconnected from what is guiding it, and it spirals and swirls like a mad snake in the sky, and then smashes with a great thud and fantastic crash into the ground. America is that missile, and as I stand under this madness in the sky, I am terrified and mesmerized by the raw power and devastating energy of it all. I had no idea we were all capable of so much. So now that I know, I am making my choices a little more carefully.
The next featured poet we have tonight is Kate Sapico.
Yes.
Let's give it up.
It needs to be on one eye.
Hi.
Oh. The moon's not in the right spot. Come on, what's this?
I'm not doing very well here.
Uh-oh.
The words don't rhyme. It's hard to name. Deb name.
That was funny.
Or is that right? Deb.
All right.
With, yeah.
Give her a real introduction. Come on.
It is Deb.
Yay, Deb.
Election Day 2004. Fingers burned by bleach, flesh eaten even after putting on gloves for protection, body bleeding as only one of my gender can, reminding me of deepest fears. How many more women will he kill? First, our sisters in third world countries, knowing when they are murdered or wounded, we too suffer. We cannot live comfortably, cozily, and think others aren't paying a price. Lives lost as SUVs and Hummers cruise streets in a privileged country, thinking its people should be shielded from the shame, from the blame, from seeing the dead, hearing their stories, knowing their names. You cannot possibly buy into the belief that you are safer from terrorists, that this man is moral. How moral and concerned do you think he and his cronies were when they found out about 380 tons of explosives that were stolen in Iraq? Condi knew. She wouldn't tell. The same explosives they knew about in advance, but decided not to use strategy, logistics, line up military personnel to guard those 380 tons. They knew. They knew. Have you considered that our nuclear power plants, waterways, and modes of mass transit have minimal or no security? Still, you think you're safer, eh? Do you really buy their bullshit, or are you just interested in slogging on through life, unfettered by the events of your government? Not mine, never mine, even if a Democrat rules. Your government imposes it on others. So you can shut your eyes and sleep thinking you're safer, while bombs drop on women, children, and men in other countries, but rarely on your soil. Do you feel safe in knowing that Bush says your life matters most? It matters so much that flu shot shortages will result in over 30,000 people dying this year between 2004 and 2005. How many died in the towers? How many? Was it 3,000? Times by 10. Times by 10 will die this year. Doesn't matter. Your safety is their priority. That's why DC, including law firms, got flu shots, but elderly and those in ill health got none. Tell me, what does it take for you to make the break? How many more words must be written, spoken, before you use them?
Nice.
Yeah!